Hey MOTIV Nation, Nick Pahr here with you again in Grand Rapids, Michigan at Spectrum Lanes, and I have a very special guest today with me, Andrew Anderson, a good friend of mine and our national tour staffer. Andrew, thanks for being here today.
Absolutely, looking forward to it.
So what are we going to be introducing?
The Raptor Rush.
I know you're a big fan of the Raptor series, especially the Sky Raptor and the Raptor Fury. So what's this new Raptor Rush going to be?
I think it's a little bit of a combo of both. I mean, the cleanness of the Sky Raptor at times when we blow on as much oil as we do, you really only got to use it later in the day. And then the Raptor Fury, however, you got to throw more on the fresh. So I think this ball is going to be more of that transition period where we have a stronger pearl cover that's going to dig into the oil a lot more. And so far, from what I've seen, it's huge.
Sure, yeah. I mean, this is definitely a new pearl for us. Definitely going to handle a lot more volumes of oil compared to maybe, say, a Crimson, but that Crimson's got a bigger core because it's asymmetric. So with this Raptor series, it is symmetric, so you're going to have something be a little bit stronger, aka the cover. So on this Raptor Rush, we've got the Propulsion FYJ, which stands for 15-year journey, which it's been 15 years since we introduced our first pearl, and it's been 15 years in the making, but we're really excited about this new pearl. What do you feel about it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that you were just mentioning the Crimson, which is somewhat of a love language for me at the moment.
Sure.
I've had a lot of success this year with the Crimson. It's really saved me in a lot of spots. So giving me another option that goes around that ball that might be a little more continuous with a symmetrical core is really what I felt like I needed. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this fits my bag and tournament arsenal, especially once we get into some of those heavier volume patterns later in the day. All right, so anytime I get a new bowling ball, I generally do the same couple layouts. I always start with, for you dual angle users out there, something in the range of 50 by 4 3/4 by 35 for my pin-up layout. And then you'll see that I use something in the range of 40 by 4 3/4 by 65 in my pin down layout. And comparing the two bowling balls, I'm really expecting the pin-up one to feel a lot stronger off of friction, be more responsive. I don't expect them to be too much different left to right because this is a fairly big core. With the Affliction version 2, the 248-055 core, you're gonna have a lot of flare whether it's pin up or pin down. So I'm expecting similar types of strength, but more so a more angular type of ball motion on the
So, as typical with my first drilling of any ball, it's my tester layout, which is 55 by 5.5 by 35. This one's going to definitely see the mid lane a lot stronger for me, give me that traction in the oil on the fresh that I need, and still see a strong enough motion down lane, which is what I'm looking for when I'm in this ball because it's such a strong cover and core combo. Even though it's a pearl, this pearl does not slip in the oil nearly as much. So I have a lot of confidence that I'm going to be able to get in, still see that mid lane traction, and have a strong motion down lane. All right, and as typical for my pin down layout, this is 45 by 5 3/4 by 65. This is my typical pin down layout on something big like this. I like to get that pin a little bit further away from my axis just so I can get a little bit less flare in the front. Even though this is a big core, it's still gonna give me that traction. Like Andrew said, I'm not gonna see a ton of difference left to right. However, it is gonna be a lot smoother down lane, probably allow me to stay a little bit closer to the friction and still see a strong enough shape down lane. All right, so we just got done throwing some shots. Andrew, what do you think about the Raptor Rush today?
Yeah, I think that's what's so cool for me, and now being with MOTIV for 3 years and throwing ripcord launches, Sky Raptors, some of those other cleaner bowling balls, how far our technology has come with covers and getting the ball to hook in oil. I mean, obviously Crimson's a baby of mine, and as you can see in the comparisons, like the Raptor Rush competes with it day in and day out. So that's really cool for me. And I think that it fits right in between. As you can see with the Raptor Fury, it was very blended, very round. And then I put the Raptor Rush in my hand. It's like, okay, 5 left, throw it at it faster, and it just comes right off of it. So
it doesn't ever miss it.
Doesn't miss it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great comparison to see your Crimson versus that Raptor Rush, because a Crimson with the asymmetry, you can drill it a lot different ways depending on where you put that mass, and you'll see a lot of different shapes. Whereas this Raptor being symmetric, you kind of only have the pin up and pin down, really, especially with, you know, not being able to have weight holes anymore. So I definitely loved what I saw out of the comparison between your Crimson and the Raptor Rush, because that cover handles oil no problem without having an asymmetric core, giving it that traction that it needs typically in heavier oil. And it still was plenty fast downlane for you. So I was really happy to see that. I think this is definitely going to be a good ball. Like you said, when they transition and you have to stay in the puddle in the middle of the lane, but typically you have to do that with asymmetry.
100%.